Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite, and one of the things that I hate the most is dual system sound. If you don't know, when you're recording into a DSLR like the Panasonic GH5, you really don't want to record the audio directly into the camera because it has terrible preamps and it just causes a lot of background noise which can really ruin the audio of your videos. So the way you get around that, and the way that I've been doing it so far, is recording dual system sound. So what I do is I record my audio separately into my Tascam DR40 and then sync the audio with the video in post. Now, it's not the hardest thing to do in the world, but it is annoying and it does add another step to your process. So I wanted to look for ways to get around doing that. Now, one of the ways that you go about doing that is buying the Panasonic adapter that you can then plug an XLR directly into your camera and you get better sound that way. However, that's $400. But I did find something else. This is the Beachtek DXA-Micro, and it does the exact same thing as the Panasonic adapter, but for $150. Before we begin, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Harry from Beachtek for setting this out for my tests, but all opinions are my own. So let's take a look at the adapter itself. The first thing you'll notice is that it is an all analog design, and that is something that I love. There's no displays or menus on this thing that you have to fumble through to find the settings that you want. Everything is controlled by a knob, which makes using this thing very simple. On the left-hand side of the device, you're going to find four 3.5mm inputs. The top two are for the left and right channel, and then the bottom two are, the one on the left is for stereo, and the one on the right is the output to output the sound from the adapter into your camera. On the right-hand side, you're going to have an XLR input. There is only one on this device, but that's all I really needed. On the back is where you're going to plug in one 9-volt battery, and I really do like the way that they implemented the battery drawer here because it's very simple to put in and out, and you can't put the battery in the wrong way. On the front is where all the magic happens. You're going to have several switches, of course, to turn it on and off, to switch between stereo and mono, which I'll explain in a second. And then on the left-hand side, you're going to have the knobs to control the gain for the left and right input, and the right is for monitoring with headphones. Now, the real magic here is with the stereo and mono switch right here. This allows you to do one of two things. One, you could record with two separate microphones, one 3.5, one XLR, and then record it into the left and right channel for use in post. Or, and this is what I really like because even the Panasonic adapter doesn't do this, you can record what's called a safety track. So if you look at my audio meters, you'll notice that the left track is a lot lower than the right hand track. That's because I'm recording two separate inputs from the same microphone into each of those tracks. So if I were to get too loud, I can switch between those two tracks so I don't lose my audio when it clips, which is really cool. Now, as for the preamps, these things are pretty good for the price point, like almost to the level of some of the professional gear that I've seen out there. There's almost no noise floor, which is fantastic, and for the case of the GH5, all I had to do is set it to the high preamp setting, and then I have the knob maybe 4 notches from the bottom, so there's almost no gain added at all. But we'll go over that more when we get to the tests. Now, setup is pretty simple. You either attach it to the bottom or to the top of your camera. I like attaching it to the bottom just because it looks a little bit better. The next thing that you do is you take the two included cables and you plug them into the designated areas on your camera. So you're going to plug one into the out port of the DXA-Micro Pro, and then you're going to plug the other one into the mic in port of your GH5 or other camera. The next thing that you're going to go ahead and do is take the second cable, if your camera allows it, and plug it into the headphone jack of your camera, and then plug it into the monitor in jack on the DXA-Micro Pro. This will allow you to use the Beachtek adapter's integrated headphone monitoring port so you can listen to your audio in real time, which is pretty darn cool. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the tests. Now, the main thing that I really wanted to test here was the noise floor. Can I successfully take my NTG4 Plus and record the audio directly into my camera? Or am I going to be stuck with dual system sound like I've been doing it so far? So these two tests are going to use two different setups. One is going to be the DR40 with the NTG4 Plus plugged directly into that and then synced in post. And the other test is going to be the NTG4 Plus plugged into the Beachtek adapter, which is then feeding into my camera. First, let's start with the DR40. And now this is with the Beachtek adapter. As you can see, the noise floor is pretty low on both, however it's even lower on the Beachtek adapter, which is an added bonus, which means I can successfully use this as an alternative to dual system sound, which will streamline my process, which is fantastic. So those were the tests. I was successfully able to see that this is a valid offering that you can use if you don't want to do dual system sound on your DSLR camera. Keep in mind, I tested this with the GH5, but you could really do this with any camera, especially Canon, because they're notorious for having terrible preamps. If you're interested in picking one up for your own, I'll go ahead and leave an Amazon affiliate link in the description for you guys if you want to check it out and purchase it for yourself. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about the tests we did here today, feel free to ask it in the comment section. You can also ask me any questions on Twitter at Screenbite. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.